Good morning, students. Welcome to your geography class. As you know, we are continuing the first chapter. Today, we will discuss the conservation of resources. As we discuss resource and resource planning, today we will discuss the importance of conservation of resources. So, resources are vital for any developmental activity, but irrational consumption and overutilization of resource may lead to socio-economic and environmental pollution. This we discussed earlier also, that yes, irrational consumption and always overutilization will harm the environment. It will create socio-economic as well as environmental problems. So overcome these problems, resource conservation at various levels is important. So we don't want to increase the major problems. So what we need to do? We need to conserve the resources. This had been the main concern of the leaders and thinkers in the past. We have seen in Rio de Janeiro that each and every country's leader, they signed the Agenda 21, where they pledged that they all will try to control these environmental degradation on a common mutual interest and with the cooperation. So yes, this is the main concern of the leaders and the thinkers. Example, like Gandhiji was very apt in voicing his concern about the resource conservation. So yes, in our country, Gandhiji was concerned about the resource planning. So he said there is enough for everybody's need, but not for anybody's greed. So the resource that we have in our environment, it is enough to satisfy each one of us needs. That's the main thing about resource. We want to satisfy the needs. So we have enough resource to satisfy our needs, but it is never can be sufficient to fulfill the greed of the people. It is never can be possible. So the greedy and selfish individual exploitatively nature of modern technology as root cause for resource depletion at a global level. So yes, greedy and selfish people, okay, the way they are indiscriminately using the resource and exploiting the resource, and with the help of the modern technology, it is the main cause of the depletion of the nature on a global level. It's not about our country or it's not about a particular country. It's all about the whole world, where so many greedy people, selfish people, to satisfy their greeds only, they are indiscriminately using the resource and they are pushing all of us towards this environmental degradation. So Gandhiji was against mass production and he wanted to replace it with the production by the masses. Yes, production for a few individual people is never good. Instead of that, what we can do, production by the masses. If so many people included, we can include for the production, for the productivity, it will be good. So resource distribution will be equal. There's not like that there is a group of people, those who are going to have all the resource. So it is always good to have production by the masses, instead mass production. Okay, next thing what we have, as you can see, next thing we have the land resource. Okay, next thing we have is land resource. So we live on land, we perform our economic activities on land, we use it in different ways. As we all know how land is a very vital resource. No matter what we want to be in our life, we require land. Okay, we require to set up the institution for factories, school, hospital, buildings, airports, railway station. For each and every institution we require land. So land is a very vital and crucial resource. Thus land is a natural resource of utmost life and human life, economic activities, transport and communication system. Okay, so you can see what is the use of the land. So of course, first of all, natural vegetation, of course we have from land, then wildlife, human life, economic activities, transport, communications, for each and everything we have in our life, we require to have a land. So however, land is an asset of a finite magnitude. Therefore, it is important to use the available land for various purposes. As we have land, okay, as you know, in our country we have 3.28 million square kilometer of land, right? So this is the land that we have, and we can use this 3.28 million square kilometer for different purposes according to the necessity, of course. So we need to have a planning for that also. How we are going to use this land, the land that we have in our country, okay, we need to have a plan. Why we need to have a plan? We will discuss this. So India has a land under a variety of relief features, namely mountain, plateaus, plains as well as islands. About 43% of the land area is plain. As you can see from this pie chart also, that 43% we have plain, which provides facilities for agriculture as well as industry. Mountains accounts for 30% total of the total surface of our country and ensure perennial flow of the rivers, provide facilities for tourism, ecological aspects as well as provide us forest resource. Next thing, now 27% of the area is plateau region and it possesses rich reserves of minerals, fossil fuels and forests. So you can see that the land, the total land we have in our country, due to different physical feature of our country, it's divided, that 43% plain area which we have, which we can use for agriculture purpose, industrial purpose, for so many different reasons. The 30% of the mountain region which we have, okay, maybe less settlement we have over there in mountain region, but this land is also helpful. How? Because from this 30% of the mountain area, what we are getting forest, we are getting forest resource, we are getting perennial rivers throughout the year, those who are providing us water, as well as wildlife, tourism and ecological balance. 27% of the plateaus that we have in our country provides us full of minerals, okay, provides us minerals, fossil fuels as well as parts of forest region. So see, the whole planning is included here, the whole planning, as we have seen the percentage of the land that we have due to different physical feature. When we know the percentage of the land, now we know how to utilize it. We know which region, what is the percentage of land I have and how we are going to utilize it for the satisfaction of the needs, of course, not for the greed. So we will discuss here the land utilization. So land resources are basically used for the following purposes. What are they? The first foremost is forest, okay. Of course, as natural vegetation we require, as natural trees we require to get pure oxygen. So forest is very much important. Next, land not available for the cultivation. So there are some type of land which is not available for the cultivation. What are the reason? First, barren or wasteland. For some reason that land is not suitable for cultivation or any kind of agriculture, that is known as barren land or wasteland. We can call it barren land or wasteland. How it is possible? Now there are some regions where the soil is very much muddy, very much clay, which is not possible to have production over there, it's not possible to have agriculture over there. So this type of land is known as barren land or wasteland, due to some other reason also possible, that due to less fertility of the soil, due to less rainfall, maybe for some reason when the land we can't use, we call it barren land or wasteland. Second thing, land put to non-agriculture uses like building, roads, factories, etc. So except cultivation, except agriculture activity, we require land for some non-agriculture activity. What are they? Now like buildings, making buildings, hospitals, school, colleges, making roads, factories, etc. For this purposes also we require to have land. Third topic, the other uncultivated land excluding fallow land. So the land, first we discussed land not available for the cultivation. We have seen it is barren land or wasteland, as well as land put on non-agricultural uses. Okay. Third topic we have other uncultivated land. First, permanent pasture or grazing land. Okay. So there are some land which we are not using for cultivation for different reason, for various reasons, land which we are not using for agriculture purpose. What are the reason behind it? The first reason is maybe the land is permanent pasture land or grazing land. That land we left only for the animals, okay, for their food, to provide them food. We have left the land which is known as permanent grazing land or pasture lands. Okay. Second thing, now land under miscellaneous tree crops. Okay. So there are some land which is not which we are not using for agriculture purpose, but on that particular land only we are having some varieties kind of trees. And as you know how trees are important for human being, because from trees only we are getting oxygen. So maybe the land we are not using for agriculture purpose, but from that land only we are having pure oxygen, because we are having various types of trees over there. Okay. Second thing, third one, cultivable wasteland. So what is cultivable wasteland? Now cultivable wasteland means the land left uncultivated for more than 5 agriculture years, when the land due to infertility of the land, due to excess use of chemical pesticide, fertilizer, etc. on the land started decreasing the fertility. So for the requirement, okay, as we know natural fertility of soil, which is nitrogen only, how it is important for agriculture purpose. So we need to provide rest to the land to recover its natural fertility. So for it can be possible that for 5 years or for more than 5 years, when we are leaving the land and give it a rest for recovery of the natural fertility, we call it cultivable wasteland, as the land required more than 5 years to recover. As the land required more than 5 years to recover, and we have to leave the land for more than 5 years, we called it cultivable wasteland. It means what? The land which we have used previously, but now because of the natural fertility, because of the decrement in the natural fertility, we need to leave the land as it is required. Next thing we have is fallow lands. So the current fallow land left without cultivation for 1 or less than 1 agriculture. So you just have seen the cultivable wasteland, where we are talking about we are leaving the land but more than 5 years. Here fallow land means same, for the same reason, only to provide the rest, only to provide a recovery, okay, only to get back its natural fertility when we are leaving the land, but only for 1 year or less than 1 year. It's like some months, like 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, according to the requirement, of course. When these type of land required less than 1 year, okay, this is known as current fallow land. It is known as current fallow land. So what is the difference between cultivable wasteland and current fallow land? Now current fallow land means the land we have let for 1 year or for less than 1 year, and the cultivable wasteland that required 5 years or more than 5 years. Okay. Second fallow land is other than current fallow land, left uncultivated for past 1 to 5 agriculture years. So cultivable wasteland means more than 5 years. Current fallow land means less than 1 year. Here other than current fallow land means the land we are leaving, or we left it for within 1 to 5 years. It is within 1 to 5. It's not less than 1 year. It is not more than 5 years. It is within 1 to 5 years. So when we are leaving the land to recover, when we are leaving the land to get back its natural fertility within 1 year to 5 years, we call it other than current fallow land. So we got three types of land. First, it is cultivable wasteland, which we are going to leave for more than 5 years. Second, we got current fallow land which we left for less than 1 year. Third, other than current fallow land, it means the land we are leaving for within 1 to 5 years. Okay, so don't get confused. If this type of question will come, don't get confused. Okay, lastly we have net shown area. What is net shown area? Area shown more than once in an agriculture year plus net shown area is known as gross cropped area. So you are getting two over here. So net shown area means one area, one land that you can use for agriculture activity at least for once in a year, at least for one time in a whole year. When you can use the particular land for agriculture activity, we call, or we are going to add that land with net shown area. As you have learned previously also, there are some land, okay, which we use not for one time, we use for more than once in a year, 2-3 times we are using it. Okay, you have learned multiple cropping system in your class 9, where we have seen that one particular land within the one single year twice or thrice we are using. So these type of land which we can use twice or thrice in within 1 year, together the net shown area, the land which we use at least once in a year, at least one time we can use it, that is not net shown area. This net shown area, when we can join with the land which we can use for twice and thrice, totally known as gross cropped area. Okay, I hope this is clear that net shown area means the land which we can use one single time, and gross cropped area means the land also we have which we can use twice, thrice in a single year. When these two land we can together join, we can calculate, we can measure, known as gross cropped area. I hope this topic is clear to all of you. Next topic we have land use pattern. Okay, so the use of land determined by the physical factors such as topography, climate, soil type, as well as human factors such as population, density, technological capability, cultural and traditional, etc. So yes, of course, use of land is totally depend upon two factors, physical factors as well as human factors. So physical factors wise, yes, there is topography, there is climate, there is soil type. Of course, before using any land, we will see that like mountain areas is less settlement. Okay, so people are not using the land which we have in mountain region, because, and that is safe for forest, that is safe for having rivers and all. Okay, climate, of course, in climate where you have huge temperature or minus temperature, of course we are not going to use because settlement is not there. Soil type, the soil like red soil, arid soil, these soils are not good for agriculture purpose, so these land also we are not going to use. So physical factors is there, that physical factor wise topography, climate, natural vegetation, soil types. Okay, human factor wise, of course, population density. Wherever we are going to get suitable physical factors, where we are going to get having proper physical feature to live, proper climate, so good soil type, so automatically population density will increase. Okay, technical capability, of course, technology wise we also require improvement. If we want to use the land, technology wise we also need to improve. Okay, and culture and tradition, of course, culture tradition also is providing a great impact on land utilization. So there are two factors which always influence the land use pattern, that is physical factors and human factors. So total geographical area of India is 3.28 million square kilometer. You have learned this in your class 9 already, which is the only 2.4% of global geographical area, right? So 3.28 million square kilometer total land we have in our country, and it is only 2.4% of the total global geographical area. So the land that we have, okay, however the availability data, the data is only 93%. The total areas only 93% data we have. Why? Because there's some part, the rest 7 part we have, some part we have with the Pakistan, Okay, it is occupied by the Pakistan in Jammu Kashmir side, and some part we have in northeastern states, where we have, as you know, we have Himalayan mountain region as well as Purvanchal. So the range where we have Himalayan mountain range, where we have Purvanchal, these areas land measurement we can't have, as well as a part of Jammu Kashmir side which is occupied by Pakistan, we don't have the data. So total geographical area wise only 93% data accurately we have with us, and on the basis of that data only we are planning our land use. Okay, our planning our land utilization. As I said, planning is important, as we all are pledged to sustainability of the development. So planning is very important part of this development. Okay, so I hope up to here it's clear to all of you that land use pattern in India, the total geographical area of India is 3.28 million square kilometer. Land use data, however, is available only 93%, because land use reporting for the foremost northeastern states except Assam has not been done fully, because as I said, we have Himalayan mountain region as well as we have the Purvanchal. Moreover, some areas of Jammu Kashmir occupied by Pakistan and China have also not been surveyed. So these areas which we can't survey due to some circumstances, we don't have the data. We have only 93% data with us, and whatever planning we are doing is on the basis of this 93% only. Okay, so up to here today we completed in your class. We will discuss the next topic in your next class. So I hope this video helped you to understand today's topic. Thank you students. Thank you for watching today's video.